Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk over the resource management aspects of elemental synergy. I'll start with a few key summary points and then dive into the details after that. All right, first things first. In this event, the resource types that we're looking at are gold, elemental tournament coin, and this is actually coming in a mix of the raw coins themselves, as well as the crowns and weapons for the original elemental titans. But I'm summarizing all that up to coins with a ratio of 12:1 for the weapons and crowns that you receive. You get the essence of the elements and Titan artifact seals. Based on your VIP, you may also get a number of these elemental tournament certificates. All right, apart from the VIP task that I just mentioned, everything except for spend emeralds is going to pay out these Titan artifact chests, which expand out to those other rewards. Spend emeralds itself is going to pay out the Titan artifact seals. So that brings me to one of my first key points, which is the spend emerald task is not one that you're most likely going to want to focus on. The artifact seals are a bad reward type for this task because either you're not interested in spending emeralds on Titans, and then it kind of answers the question there, or maybe you are, in which case one of the best ways that you should be spending emeralds on Titans is the Titan artifact summoning spheres, which will give you the seals in faster order than the other items that come from that same consumable. So you're going to find yourself with maxed out seals from spending your emeralds there before the weapons and crowns and before the totems, which is probably what you're primarily searching for at the altar of artifacts. So in my opinion, even if you are someone who's looking to spend tens of thousands of emeralds on Titan development, I think you should do it during a different event and get better rewards out of that event's spend emeralds task. So everyone but the very top must have it now spenders should be ignoring this task, other than, if some very small amount of spend bumps you up to the next category or gets you up to the next tier in this special event quests task. This one pays out the ancient Titan artifact chests and actually puts out a very good number of them, more than any of the two other big tasks combined. So you will want to keep an eye on whether you're close to moving up to the next milestone here. All right, and then the other main point here is this Outland chest task pays out quite well for what you have to put into it. This is starting out with the extra day here, and the key point here that I want to make is that if you are somewhere in the world that allows you to get an extra day out of this event, this 80 chests in a 3-day event is one that you really want to get that extra day if you at all can, because it will cut your costs in half. As you open more and more of these chests each day, the cost per chest goes up, and just due to the breakpoints there, it will cost quite a bit more to complete this task if you only have 3 days. So this is 4 days, you see it's 183%. If I take out the extra day, then that's dropping all the way down to about 90% here. Obviously, the payout is the same in either case, so the reason this percentage changes so much is due to the cost. You can see here to get it done in 3 days, you've got to open a few of the 4,500 tier, whereas if you have the extra day out of the event, then you can get it done in sticking to the 200 tier. Okay, so those are my most important notes for spending on this event. Let's take a look at a couple potential configurations, and we'll take a look at some of the individual milestones within these tasks. So again, everything that we're going to look at in the bottom section here is paying out those Titan artifact chests. So it does assume that you're going to be interested in the crowns and weapons, as well as the essence of the elements as the main rewards out of those tasks. So looking more closely at spend energy, you can see that there's a very large peak here at the 2,500 level. That's one that probably anyone who's interested in those resource types should strive to hit. And then it stays quite high really throughout the whole event, but really 5,000 is the end of the extremely high payouts for spending energy. Given that the spend emeralds task is so undesirable in this event, this could be one where you might want to use many of your spare bottles to complete some of these additional milestones. The costs listed here are based on the emerald spending that it would take to hit these tiers, but if you have dozens of bottles on hand, you could come in here if you visit the site yourself and say, maybe you're going to open 20 bottles, you change the free energy to 4,500, and everything will adjust accordingly. It will tell you then what your emerald spending would have to be to hit any of these other milestones. All right, but using bottles, if you have a number of them on hand, may be a good thing to do for this event. But if you don't have a large supply, maybe you shoot for 5,000 or 7,000 energy here. And then, as I mentioned, with the extra day, the Outland chest is very nice returns here, a nice bonus emerald value based on your spending. So I'm going to plan to max this one out, and I would recommend the same for any other mid-level spender if you're interested in Titan rewards. And then Hero Soul Stones, you can see here the best payout per soul that you need to acquire happens in some of the later milestones within this task. So if you're not sitting on a fairly large quantity of the Hero Soul boxes, then this might be one to sit out. If you're not going to hit at least this 100 milestone, or more likely something like this 300 or above, then I don't think you want to use any of your reserves to hit these lower points. Unless, again, it's going to bump you up to the next tier in special event quests. This one obviously depends on how far you're getting in all of the others. I don't want to dwell on it too much in this video because there's too many variables there for a one-size-fits-all video. You really have to see how you're doing yourself in all these other tasks. But again, just to make the point of how much this pays out, this 250 emerald value per requirement, so that's saying for each one of the 50 quests that you complete, you're getting 250 emeralds worth of value out of those Titan artifact chests. It is weighted towards the later milestones here. So you can see you're not getting lots and lots for these first 30, but then the payouts get to be quite large if you get all the way up to some of these higher tiers. That said, you're going to have to spend a bunch of emeralds to do it, so in the end, I don't think it's worth it, but at least not to get to the very last one, but you can all make your own decision there. For myself, this is roughly what it'll look like for me, although I may open up some bottles and get somewhere more like into this category. This would, with a 12,000 emerald spend, get the 60 milestone done within the special event quests. You don't have to spend too much to get to that level. And in fact, I may even put more bottles into it to bring this number down a little bit more. But if I didn't have a big backlog of bottled energy and these Hero Soul Stones, then I would put almost nothing into this other than getting this Outland chest complete and maybe some amount of the spend energy, but not much above my normal spending level. All right, so I hope that gives you a few points to consider. I'll spend just a minute looking at a 3-day version of this event, but that won't take long because really the only remaining point to talk on that, after I already made the Outland chest point, is the spend energy chart. And you can see the payouts are still not terrible for 3 days worth of spending, buying the energy with emeralds, but the bonus percent is quite a bit lower than the 4th day. In particular, at some of these middle milestones. If you go all the way to the end, it makes almost no difference in the end. You can see it's 69% bonus here on the 3-day, and it only rises up to 75 with the extra day on it. So if you're going to max this thing out, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but if you're going to end somewhere in these middle tiers, then the 3 versus 4th day can make a decent sized difference. All right, but with this event having so many variables here depending on what you've saved up, how easy it is for you to make progress in the dungeon, what's your VIP, and this special event quest being such a huge percentage of the payout, and depending on all those other variables, I'd encourage you to come here for yourself and adjust some of these parameters and see what makes the most sense for you. All right, hope this helps you plan, and I'll see you again next time.